This is the second installment of civic virtues. We talked about it last time. Remember, a civic virtue is the collection of habits. Habits, that's important. So if you're looking at some of these qualities and saying, I don't have that, I'm not fair, I'm not honest, well, then you can become any of these things. It's a habit that you have to start. It's a collection of habits that are important for the success of a community. And remember, I wanted you to keep track of that because I want you to keep thinking, why is this important for people in a community to be this way? Why should they be honest? Why should they be fair? How does that help each other? Civic virtue is also the dedication of citizens to the common good of their community, even at the cost of their individual interest. That last sentence is important. If you have a civic virtue, sometimes you make a hard choice, and that choice is good for the community, but it might be bad for yourself. So that's part of a civic virtue. It ends up good for other people, but not necessarily for yourself. And that's why they're hard to get. We talked about these before. We talked about honesty, and we talked about fairness. Today we are talking about selflessness. Selflessness. Being selfless means to put the needs of others before your own. And this is a good example here. There's a tragedy happening. There's a big flood, and this girl put the puppy in the bowl and carried the puppy above her head. And you can tell she's struggling. She's being selfless. She's caring about something else more than she's caring about herself. And here are other good examples of selfless individuals. This man is taking care of a baby dolphin. These women are donating to a homeless man. She's helping an elderly person. He's helping soldiers by donating things that they need. And she's donating her time at a soup kitchen. They could be doing other things. These other things would make them happy. These other things might make them money. They could be entertaining. They could be watching TV or playing video games or going to college so that they could make more money. But instead, they're using this very important thing called time, and they're giving that time to other people. They're being selfless. Integrity. Now, integrity is kind of weird because integrity has a definition, but it also has words that fit inside of it. And let me read the definition first. It is a set of characteristics that justify trustworthiness and generate trust among others. So, set of characteristics. And if you look above the word, here are the characteristics that are inside of integrity. We talked about honesty, we talked about fairness before, so you understand what that is. And also accountability. That's a new word. Basically, accountability means when people ask you to do something, they don't have to check up on you and make sure you did it. You can be held accountable, and they know you'll do it. If you are honest, accountable, and fair, you have integrity. And that's one of the more, in my opinion, superior civic virtues because it is so hard to have. It encompasses 3 different things if you have integrity. So that's why it is a difficult one to portray. It says integrity is doing what is right even when it's difficult. And remember that part of the civic virtue definition. You do something, and it might be hard for you, but you know it's right for other people. And then let's talk about academic integrity. You'll see that word as you get older in school. Academic integrity means the teacher trusts that you did your own work. You didn't copy off another student's paper, or if you turned in an essay or a project, you didn't copy off of a website or a book. Some children will take the words from a website and put it in their own essay, and that's not showing academic integrity. Throughout school, you'll see there are very severe punishments when you do not show academic integrity. Last but not least, here's an example of integrity. Should we keep it? No, we have to hand it in. So they are going to turn this lost wallet into lost and found. The man might never find it. They could benefit from that money. They could buy things for themselves or their family, but they know to be honest and to be fair and accountable for their actions, they need to turn it in, and therefore they have integrity. Last, volunteerism, the policy or practice of volunteering one's time or talents for charitable, educational, or other worthwhile activities, especially in one's community. This is big. You have to understand that without the spirit of volunteerism, our community would not be working the way that it does. Volunteerism helps keep everything fair, I'd say. And you see here a good example. They're donating their time and their stuff to the homeless, giving them water and food. Here we have the young lady volunteering her time at a hospital for old people. We have people donating supplies here, people donating their time, collecting up leaves off the ground to make the park more beautiful. This is, I believe, in a foreign country. They're donating their time and their food to children who can't afford it. And here is one that's very popular. It looks similar to what's called Habitat for Humanity. It's a big volunteer organization where they donate time, money, and materials to build houses for people who can't afford homes. They build them from scratch. And not only are they giving their time, but in return they get to learn a very important skill. And I think building homes is very important to know. So they do get something back. These people also get something back. They get the satisfaction of knowing that they did something really nice.